Hiya, my name's David. I'm the Wandering Ponderer. I'm out here today looking at the flowers, looking at the pollinators. The pollinators being the small insects little tiny hoverflies, not just bees, tiny flies that get into the heart of the flower to drink the nectar and will pollinate the flowers. We tend to think of pollination and we think of bees. Now, while I'm out here, there's some things that you need to look at when you're looking at flowers. And I was walking past here the other day and I noticed, and I'll show you, these. They look innocent, but they're not quite so innocent as one would imagine because of the speckled purple splashes on here. This flower looks quite common, and it is, and it's related to the carrot family, as you can tell by the leaves. And I'm not touching this because this is one of the most deadly plants, most toxic growing around here. This is hemlock. Be aware, it's easy to mistake it for something else. One of the most obvious signs are the purple splotches or the red splotches, a bit like blood splashes on the stalks. If you see blood splashes on the stalks, stay away. If you see a plant like this, even the wild carrot variety, if you're unsure, don't touch it, don't pick it. Don't let your kids near it. If you've got little kids that like to pick flowers, you see one of these, it might be a harmless plant, or it might look like a harmless plant. But hemlock is not harmless. That child gets some of the sap on his skin, or him or her skin, when they're picking the flowers, and mum doesn't think anything of it, dad doesn't think anything of it, and you go walking off and the child puts it to their mouth. That could be enough on their skin to put you in A&E with that child, and it could lead to quite a serious time. Dangerous. It is dangerous. Hemlock. It's quite common, and people walk past this every day and don't bat an eyelid because the hedgerows are full of plants that look almost identical to that. Some have got completely purple stems, not splotches like this one, and so you see the the purpley, reddy purpley splotches, and you think that's okay. It's common, but it isn't okay. I'm going to go and see if I can find its relation so that you can see a side-by-side comparison of the two. I see something up here, so we'll go up here. This is the cricket ground. We'll have a look. Now, this one, oh, there's a closer. This looks sort of purpley, but the stems have got like ridges in and hairy. Very similar looking flower. That's not hemlock. This is not hemlock. But what I showed you earlier on is definitely hemlock. It's not. Notice the stems have got tiny little hairs and the stems are rigid on here. And there's no purple splotches like blood splashes. So if you've got a kid that likes to, you're on your way to nannies and you want to, the child's on the way to nannies with you and they like to pick flowers. I've got grandchildren that like to do that. Pick flowers, take flowers to nanny, pick a bunch of different colours and imagine they go and pick, they want something white in their little maid bouquet. And they pick hemlock. Just picking it, they get the sap on their skin. Be aware. That's all I can say. Be aware. Hemlock grows and looks almost identical. There's no hair on the stems and you see those splotches. It's lovely out here. No chickens out here. But the pollinators are out in full force. This is a beautiful tree. Beautiful little flowers. These are all right. Lovely. No chickens. They've gone. They were lovely. Right. Here we are again, look. This one. It's not ridged. The flowers look more or less identical. You see the splotches, purple splotches, that's the first warning. You don't need to go any further than that. That is hemlock. And quite often you'll see this plant growing amongst the non-hemlock variety. This is hemlock. Really, I should put that notice on there. Danger of death, hemlock. You can go round chopping all the hemlock down. I mean, that's a stupid thing to do, really. It's better to educate people not to touch those flowers, and if there's any confusion, don't touch any of those at all. Cool. It's quite hot out here. I regret actually putting this coat on. But this is my pre-lunch walk. Now, here we have a purple one, just so that you know, you get to know. Without even identifying the shape of the flowers on here, or just you can see the hairs on the stalks and the ridges. You know that's not hemlock, and the stalk is purple, but it's not splotchy. It's not, doesn't look like blood splatters. Right, let's have a look, see what we've got here. It's nice to see round here all these type flowers, wild flowers, been taken over with all that wild flowers, good for the pollinators. What they call the oxeye flowers, daisy-like flowers. Thistle. This is lovely to see nature take over. That's it, it's so overgrown, I'm not going to go that way. Now, that's making it sort of almost an impossibility. I'm now going to head back for lunch. That was Botany 101 from me, the Wandering Ponderer. If you like the video, please do the necessary. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe on YouTube, give it a thumbs up on YouTube, and hopefully, if all goes well and the weather stays reasonable, I'll see you in the next video. So stay safe.